Today I am going to be putting Bobbi Brown's Weightless Skin Foundation to the test. My name is Amy Astrid and this is my beauty channel where I talk all things makeup and skincare. We do some reviews, we do some product comparisons, but first and foremost my aim with this channel is to help you figure out whether this product is worth your money. We're going to talk through what it claims to do, how I think it holds up to those claims, the ingredients, my first impressions, a bit of a wear test, and my prolonged impressions over time as well. But as I always say, I'm not an expert, just a person with skin and opinions, and as we all know, everyone's skin is different, so I will do my best to give you all the information that I can to help you make an informed decision. But if you have tried this product, I ask you to please scroll down and leave a line or two in the comments about your experience too, so that we can all scroll down and learn together, because like I said, everyone's skin is different, so the more opinions we can get, the more of a well-rounded picture we can paint. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find it useful as well, so I know to make more like this one. I'm a big fan of Bobbi Brown as a brand, but I've never actually tried any of their foundations before this one, so let's give it a go. So first and foremost, let's go through what we can supposedly expect from this product. Bobbi Brown's Weightless Skin Foundation is described as a long wear matte foundation that delivers 24-hour moisture and 24-hour wear. I don't know why anyone would want to wear a foundation for 24 hours. I certainly wouldn't, but that is what they claim. And if you do, who am I to judge? The Bobbi Brown website says that this has a natural matte finish that looks like skin, not makeup. It comes in 53 different shades, so we've got a good shade range, and it even has an SPF component. This contains SPF 15. But just in case you didn't know, to be able to get that SPF protection out of any product, be it moisturizer, foundation, you need to be using at least 2 fingers worth of the product. So depending on how much you use, you might not get that full protection, so it's just worth bearing that in mind. It uses Bobbi Brown's smart skin balancing technology, which basically means that it controls the levels of oil in your skin without stripping the moisture out of your skin. It provides hydration while also absorbing that oil, so you get a good balance. It promises to deliver medium coverage that feels comfortable and breathable, and it contains skincare benefits including the Tri-Moisture Complex, which involves hyaluronic acid, glycerin and honey extract, which all work together to boost the moisture content of your skin, even in particularly dry areas. Bobbi Brown claim that this foundation is waterproof, sweat and humidity resistant, transfer resistant, fade resistant, crease resistant, non-caking, and that it reduces the look of your pores. And apparently in the clinical trials for this product, 95% of participants said it left their skin looking even toned all day. 92% said that it left bare skin looking healthier, so that's where your skincare benefits are coming in. And 90% said that it left bare skin looking more hydrated, so that's where your Tri-Moisture Complex is coming in. Well, all of that sounds great on paper, so I think it's about time I tried it for myself, don't you? Good morning. Right, before I do anything else, I'm just going to pop some moisturiser on to prime my skin. This is the Bubble Slam Dunk Hydrating Moisturiser. It's just a little tester size of it and I'm so impressed with it so far. It's really good. Although it's very nearly run out, but I've been using this under my makeup for the last few weeks and it is fantastic and really affordable as well, so I'll put a link in the description. But anyway, that is not why we're here. Today I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation SPF 15. I have used this a few times before and this is the shade that I'm going to be using. It's called number 36 Warm Sand. I don't really know if it is the best shade for me right now because I did fake tan yesterday, but from memory it's a fairly good match for my fake tan, so we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna pump some of it straight out onto my face, which always feels risky because obviously you have to be careful that the nozzle doesn't actually touch your face for hygiene reasons. So it doesn't touch my face, but it's very close to my face, and I always just worry that I'm just gonna drop like foundation into my lap. Anyway, I'm thinking what we'll do is beauty blender today. I think the last time I used this foundation I actually used a brush for it. So we'll see what we think of the beauty blender. Okay, so as you can see on this side of my face where I have blended it out, it is very sheer. You can still see like this redness that I've got down here. Obviously I've got a little spot by my mouth here. You can see that still quite clearly through the foundation, and I've deliberately not used any concealer today so far because I like to really test the foundation and see what it can do for me. And so that you guys can really see what the coverage is like. I feel like concealer kind of confuses that a little bit. But I do have a lot of discoloration around my eyes that I will be using concealer on because I've got things to do today and things I need to look alright for. I've got a photo shoot with Disney where I'm going to a life-size reconstruction of Pride Rock next to Tower Bridge. So random, but my makeup's got to put in some work today. Right, so this is it all blended out. Let me have a look in the mirror. Okay, it's pretty. It's quite luminous. It's very sheer though. Like there's a definite layer of something. It's kind of evened everything out a little bit, but it is on the sheerer side. So I'm going to try and build it up now with like a second layer and see how buildable it is. Like I said, I have actually used this foundation once or twice before, but then I immediately thought, actually, I really want to make a video about this, so I stopped using it until I had the time to sit down and film some videos for this channel. So that was a good few months ago now. I can't really remember what I thought of it. I think I liked it. Okay, so this is the second layer. I'm really impressed with this. I feel like it's built up in a really natural way. Like it doesn't look cakey or thick at all. It's got a nice glow to it, and bearing in mind, as you guys saw, like I didn't use a highlight underneath or anything. This is literally just the foundation and some like see-through moisturizer. I really like that. I am going to go in with a little bit of concealer, like I said, around my eyes. This is, what is this? Oh, a Rimmel, I can't remember what the name of it is, concealer, but it's fairly full coverage, so I like using this when I use like lower coverage. Just gonna match those up. Lower coverage foundations, because then I still get the coverage where I want it, but it doesn't have to be all over my face. And also when I have a spot, I always match it with concealer on the other side of my face so it doesn't like look a different colour or anything. I do actually typically wear concealer underneath my foundation because I find then that the foundation is better at like blurring any difference in colour between the two if the foundation is like on top. But because this foundation is really sheer, I actually think you can kind of do what you want to an extent because you can really see your skin through it, which I always find gives you a little bit more grace in terms of like a shade match. I think that's done a really good job. The concealer has just kind of cleared up those areas that I would want a little bit more coverage on, but my face looks really glowy. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna go away now and do the rest of my face of makeup, and then I will come back and show you the full face. Okay, here is the full face. I have added a little bit of highlight on top to kind of accentuate the glow, but I really like it. To be honest, I typically wear like medium to full coverage foundations, so I kind of thought that a sheer foundation wouldn't be great for me on like an everyday basis. But I like this one. I think it's got a really natural kind of finish to it. I like how buildable it is. And I mean, you can see for yourself, I just think it looks very healthy, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna go out and stand on a wet rock in the rain now. So what a day to wear test a foundation. The time is now 9:37 in the morning. So I'm gonna check in with you throughout the day and we're gonna see how we get on with this. I have at the moment been wearing the Clinique Even Better Clinical foundation, and I've been finding that while it is fuller coverage, which I like, towards the end of the day it's starting to look quite chalky. It's making me look a bit dead. So I'm hoping the fact that this one's a bit dewier in the first place might prevent that from happening. Let's see. Right, it is 11:30. It has so far survived 2 hours on a very packed tube with severe delays, and I think it's holding up quite well. Normally when I arrive at places after being on really like hot and busy tubes, I feel like I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, but actually I'm quite impressed so far. She's still giving glowing, although the weather now is a bit like dingy and rainy, so at least we're putting it to the test. Okay, the time is now 12 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. It's very dark outside because I'm filming this in the dead of winter, and My hair really has not held up very well today, but the foundation is doing pretty good. Let me have a proper look in the mirror. Oh, that's actually way better than it was in my head. So I don't know if you can see, around my nose it has kind of sunk into my pores a little bit, kind of showing signs of wear around the sides of my nose, just where I've been cold, so my nose has been running a little bit. And when I looked in the mirror earlier, I did see that it had sort of settled into some of the creases around my eyes a little bit, but I sort of blotted it about a bit with my finger, and I feel like it really kind of revived it. So yeah, we're doing well, and it's been like almost a full work day. I've been in a lot of different conditions. I've been in like drizzly, wet outdoors that's done this to my hair. I've been in like a boiling hot tube, a boiling hot coffee shop. It was so warm in there. I got quite flustered at one point because I was lost and my GPS thing on my phone wasn't working. So like, this foundation has seen me through quite a lot, and it is holding up very well. Okay, it is now 10 p.m. and I thought we'd do one last check-in before I take my makeup off. You can definitely see, I mean, my eye makeup is smudged from where I've been laying on the sofa. You can definitely see where some of the like redness and sort of uneven skin tone are starting to come through the foundation. And I can definitely see in the mirror, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but where my highlight is, it seems to be clinging on a lot more. So my highlight must be doing quite a good job of keeping my makeup in place. On the whole, I don't think it looks as good as it did when I put it on, but that was like 13 hours ago now. I do still think it looks quite even. It has like worn well across my face, and it has kind of eventually lost some of that dewiness, but I'm not getting the kind of chalky effect at the end of the day that I have been getting with the foundation I was using before. I really like this. I could be a convert. I'm going to use it for a few days and then I'll come back and let you know what I think. Looking at the reviews on Bobbi Brown's website, because we don't just take my word for it, this is a really popular product. It's got 4.8 stars, and that is with almost 1,000 reviews. People seem to really like the weightless feel, the natural finish, and the fact that it's got the SPF 15 in there. People in the reviews are saying it is their perfect everyday foundation, and I do agree with that. I think the fact that it's so truly buildable is brilliant. The way that the layers just sit on top of one another to get to your desired coverage without caking or going a bit like creasy is amazing. And honestly, it's something that I've never really experienced in a foundation before. It does sit on your face like skin, no matter how much you put on. I'm sure there is a limit to that, but over the couple of weeks that I've been trying this out, I've worn a range of 1 layer to 3 layers depending on what I'm doing, and it has held up really well in all of those circumstances, which I think is great because it means you only have to have 1 product in your makeup bag, and you can really, like, if you're going on holiday for example and you want to be able to wear like barely there makeup during the day but then ramp it up a bit in the evening, like this is great because you only have to take 1 foundation with you. And it's kind of the same every morning when I'm getting ready. I'm like, right, how much of a face do I want on today, you know, and then that determines how much of this I use, which is really good. It doesn't go cakey. It does occasionally sit in the creases around my eyes, but I think it would take a miracle product to not do that by this point, so I'm not going to hold that against it really. I think the 24-hour wear claim, well, it wouldn't last 24 hours on me. That might be because I touch my face a lot, or because I live in London, so I'm on and off the tube and like in and out of all different weathers. But it does last comfortably 12 hours, maybe a little bit longer with a bit of a touch up. The small handful of less flattering reviews, some of them say that it transfers and it kind of slips around a little bit. I don't know if that would be true if I wasn't using a translucent powder on top. I definitely feel like that helps with the staying power. I don't use any special translucent powder. It's literally like a £3 one from Revolution. I'll link it in the description in case you're interested. I put that over any foundation, mostly because then it means I can use my powder products on my eyes and on my cheeks and stuff. I can see how that might be the case if you're not using any powder to set it, but it's not really an issue that I ran into personally. Some people say that they don't feel like the foundation has enough coverage. I think that is fair enough to say of the first layer. That being said, like, I do think how much coverage you want from a foundation is completely subjective, so I don't think it's necessarily fair to market really low because of that, because for some people that's what they're looking for. For me, I agree that one layer isn't quite enough for most days, but I like the fact that it starts off there, so you can choose. And others say that it looks a little bit too dull or too matte. It definitely is on the matte side, particularly for a less full coverage foundation. I tend to find that the really matte foundations are more full coverage, so I can kind of see where you might be coming from with this one. But again, I think it largely depends on what other products you're wearing it with, right? Because you would never just wear a foundation on its own. Right now I've got bronzer, blush and highlight on, and I think it adds, I'm wearing this right now, by the way, I don't think I've mentioned that, but like, I think it adds some really nice dimension, and this definitely provides a really good base. Personally, I prefer matte finish foundations, like natural matte, not super matte, but because I feel like it stops it slipping around so much. So yeah, if you couldn't tell by the fact that I am defending it, I really like this foundation. I like the pump applicator. Sometimes I pump it straight onto a brush, and that's if I'm like in a rush and I'm being super quick, and it is really quick that way. And I've used this every single day for a couple of weeks now, which is quite high praise from me because I always chop and change what foundations I'm using. It is £43 per bottle, so it is a little bit on the pricey side. And if you don't want to spend that much on a foundation, then that is fair enough. For me personally, I like to buy high-end foundations because of the skincare benefits that you can get, and I think the skincare benefits of this one seem to work really well, so I'm happy to pay that. I also actually think a little goes a long way because the consistency of it is quite thin, so that's good from like a value for money perspective. Even if I'm applying a couple of layers, I still don't use that much product, to be honest. One pump, maybe two for 2 layers. I would say 1 pump per layer is what I would expect to use, so barely anything really. That's like half of what I use in most foundations, and I think it is literally just because it is a thinner texture. And yeah, I like the fact that it is doing my skin some long-term good instead of drying it out like some other foundations do. Like I said at the beginning though, it's all personal preference, isn't it? And everyone's skin is different. So hopefully this video has highlighted a few pros and cons of this and can help you figure out whether it's likely to be the foundation for you. If you have tried this out for yourself, please put your experience down in the comments so we can all scroll and learn together. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it or if you found it helpful. I'll link all of the products I've mentioned, including this entire makeup look, in the description, so you can go and check them out for yourself. And if you do purchase through those links, I will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you as a little thank you from the brand for sending people their way. So if you choose to do that, thank you for supporting me and this channel. Watching is obviously free, but making these videos can be quite expensive, as you can imagine, because I buy most of the products myself. So I would super appreciate you using those links if you're going to buy it anyway, so that I can carry on making these videos. But of course, it's up to you. Let me know if there are any particular brands or products you would like to see me review next. Hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys.